It's now just over a year since Britain voted to leave the EU, and a play which deals with the issues and fallout from the referendum is coming to the capital on its UK tour. Octopus is a satire exploring what it means to be British, and it's written by Afsaneh Gray, who I'm pleased to say joins me on the sofa this lunchtime. Welcome to London Live News.
Thank you.
Tell us what prompted you to write this play in the first place.
I think I was really struck by some of the discourse around immigration, but also the refugee crisis and kind of fears around terrorism in the run-up and then post the EU referendum. And I was kind of really interested in this idea of, OK, take back control, but who are we taking back control for? And who gets to be British, really? How do we define who we are as a nation? And I think, you know, as we're leaving the EU, that question becomes more important than ever. So I wanted to write a comedy that was just kind of exploring some of those issues. Also from a personal perspective, because I kind of come from a mixed background myself.
Well, I was going to ask how much of yourself you've put into this, because there are three characters and three very different characters, but with some overlapping themes. Sure.
So my mum's Iranian and my dad was born in the East End of London, but he's actually from a Jewish background. And I have got one character who kind of pretty much reflects that in terms of her identity. Then there's also a character who's sort of third-generation Asian British and who sort of feels very strongly about her British identity. And she actually comes from a much more conservative sort of background politically. And then there's the character who presents as white, but turns out it's a little bit more complicated than that. And so those three women are kind of the way I kind of explore some of those questions.
And this is a play that you've taken all over the country. How much has there been similarities or perhaps differences in the reaction that you've had to the play when you've taken it to other parts of the country?
Well, I think what's been really interesting is we've had debates after most of our shows, and it's always, everyone gets kind of very exercised about that idea of, OK, how do we define ourselves? And there are different views. So some people have kind of said, well, I think British values, that's a nonsense. We shouldn't try and pin them down. And other people say, no, no, we really must. And we should kind of say that we stand for tolerance or we stand for whatever it is. So there have been really interesting kind of live debates about it. And we have been to areas that have, you know, voted leave and voted remain. And, you know, we have seen differences in the way audiences have reacted.
Some of the issues at the heart of this are very serious: Britishness, identity, ethnicity, but it is a comedy. Why did you choose to bring that lighter touch to it?
I think it's one of those things that you don't want to be too earnest about. It's nice to have a laugh, and I think actually it's a really good way of getting to serious questions. And I think, you know, we've had interesting conversations, for example, about when people laugh and why people laugh, and whether it's a laugh of recognition or an uncomfortable laugh. So I think it's a really nice way to reach people.
The UK tour comes to an end in London next week. What's next for Octopus?
Oh, I don't know. So at the moment we're just focused on next week. So we're going to be at Popular Union and Tower Hamlets on Tuesday, and then Wednesday to Saturday we're at Tara Arts. We've got a really exciting debate coming up on the Friday with Guardian columnists Afua Hirsch and Daniel York, who contributed to The Good Immigrant. We've got a signed performance on the Thursday, and then after that, who knows?